We are Allmade for printers. And this is education for better decoration. Allmade's tri-blend fabric was the first fabrication developed by our founding group of screen printers. Unlike a lot of tri-blends in the market, we use sustainable materials like recycled polyester, modal, and organic cotton. Specifically, the modal gave it a great hand feel and amazing smooth printing surface. From our original 8 colors, we've expanded the line to include over 20 colors, and it's continuing to expand. This video is going to give decorators the tools and understanding of how each color variant is manufactured in order to best decorate on it. The main variable in our tri-blend production is how we dye the polyester. And there are 4 different ways we do that in the manufacturing process. No dye. This is when the polyester is not dyed at all and only the natural fibers, or no dye at all in the shirt with our white color. When we're not dyeing the polyester, it's leaving the polyester clear, giving the tri-blend a heathered look. By not dyeing the polyester, we create a fabric that prints great, does not have any dye migration, and discharges phenomenally. The second way we dye the polyester is dope dye. This is where the polyester is actually dyed during the extrusion process. As you can see here in our aluminum, we use 25% black polyester to create that heathered aluminum look. In this process, that 25% black recycled polyester actually comes before it's blended as black polyester, meaning that the dye is inside the polyester. Because this dope dye does not have any dye migration issues, but it also does not discharge, it's permanently black in the garment. You can also see this fabrication in our Vino Red, which uses the aluminum base and then puts a Vino natural dye over it. Again, no dye migration issues, but if you were going to discharge this, you would see the black polyester come through on the discharge. Space Black is actually the first fabric we created as an Allmade team. We created it so the double dye is actually heathered, using a lighter gray than the natural fiber. As you can see, this fabric is still heathered, but it's more of a subtle, darker heather. Also, because the polyester fabrication double dye is a lighter gray, this particular fabric doesn't have dye migration issues and still does discharge, though it doesn't discharge as well as a natural polyester fabrication. Finally, we have our solid double dyed fabrics. These are a solid dark color, black, navy, red. We created these because these colors are so popular in the market. Obviously, having a black tri-blend is very pivotal for your line. However, because these are solid dyed, they do have dye migration issues, as well as no dischargeability. Through our testing partnership at Made Lab, we've developed best practices for screen printing, heat transferring, and direct-to-garment printing, all these different types of fabrication variables. This way, decorators can successfully choose the right method and process to make sure that your Allmade print looks and feels just as good as your Allmade shirt.